again. This is Robert Weichelt with EXP with another episode of Weichelt Wednesday. I have dedicated this time to reach out to one of our mentors, one of our coaches, one of our leaders with our team, my good buddy, Daniel David. This guy right here is the definition of put me in coach. He's the guy that steps up, helps a team member whenever they need it, whenever they need, whether it be role playing, whether it be accountability. This guy is always just, what can I do to help mentality? The one team, one dream. I look in the dictionary and I see your face, my brothers. Daniel, how are you?
Man, Robert, I am doing awesome. Thanks for having me on. It's an honor to be here. I mean, you yourself, you're right there in that same definition. It's definitely, I consider you not only a friend, but also, someone that I look up to and aspire to, because I know you do great things as well.
Well, you know what? That's very kind of you. So let's get right into it. Who's Daniel David?
Man, that's a loaded question. So I guess, when I was born, no, I'm playing. Like before I got into real estate, believe it or not, I was a wedding entertainer, and I was the guy in the monkey suit that stood up in front of everybody and kept everyone entertained, having a good time. I continued that over when I got in real estate. And the only reason I got into real estate is because of my son. So my son, who happened to be in kindergarten at the time, he was like, Dad, can you come pick me up from school today? And unfortunately, weddings are not just a one-day affair. There's planning sessions, there's the rehearsal, there's all these events leading up to that. So, I had a rehearsal, I had meetings with brides, I had the wedding itself that took place on a Saturday, and then Sunday, we happened to be doing a bridal show. Well, my son's like, Dad, when are you going to stay home and spend some time with me? And, that was like the dagger that if I could have quit that day, I was done. So I knew something needed to change. And so I started looking more at real estate. And so, when I came into real estate, I already had a leg up on most of the competition because I was used to running the business. I was used to being the one-man show that did everything. Mm-hmm. And so, I came in and a lot of agents were like, man, you're brand new. You don't know what you're talking about. You need to just, get with the program. This is not the way things are done. Well, my second month of me having my license, I listed 26 homes. And then those agents,
say that number one more time. First, how many weeks?
So I was only licensed for 2 months.
2 months, and did how many listings?
I had 26 listings my second month in the business.
Boom, that is huge. I love that.
Yeah. So at that point, those same agents were like, how did you do that? I'm like, well, I went and had conversations and developed relationships, the stuff that we should be doing as agents. Mm-hmm. And so it just blew their mind that, here it is, this young rookie that, came into the business, and he took 26 listings in 1 month, and they had, they're lucky if they get 26 listings a year. Sure. And I did it in 1 month. So they were like, okay, so maybe he does know what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I started to get into coaching, mentoring, and training others because, I enjoy that. That is my passion. Yeah. If I can help an agent grow their business, there is no bigger satisfaction. So, I continued doing production and continued. So that was back in 2013, continued up to 2018 when I started getting more into the coaching role, training, technology, that stuff. Mm-hmm. I was at one of the largest companies, swore that I would never leave that company. And then, for whatever reason, things didn't work out. I went to another national brand, and I was their productivity coach. I was their tech guy. I was their trainer, and had aspirations of joining their national team to work on technology. Well, I met with the national team, and their vision didn't align with mine. So I'm like, this is not a good fit. Appreciate the opportunity. I was getting ready to go back to the company that I came from, and one of their agents reached out to me, and they said, I would love to have you back. Don't get me wrong. However, you need to meet with this guy. And I said, well, who is this? They said, his name is Ryan Luthi, and who happens to be another one of the coaches in our
Oh
group.
yeah. Oh yeah. Ryan's stud.
Yeah. He's like, just meet with Ryan. And then, just do that. And then you can do whatever. I said, okay. So I met with Ryan, told him that, I was interested in being a national coach and I wanted to, be on stage, coaching, training, mentoring others. He said, you need to meet my mentor. His name's Larry White. And by the way, he's a Tom Ferry coach.
Larry M.F. White.
Yes. Yeah. So I met with Larry. It only took like 3 times. We met with Larry and he's like, man, it sounds like you're doing a lot of this chicken and egg thing. Like you're having to prove yourself and jump through all these hoops. He said, why don't you just come be a national coach on my team? He's like, you've been there. You've got the numbers. You've got the experience. You've got the production. Like, just come here and I'll give you the voice. I'll give you the tools and the systems. I'm like, really? And he said, yeah. So I was done. I was like one of the easiest, for me, it was all about the coaching, the training, the mentoring, and being able to pour into others rather than, all the additional perks that you get from being a member of EXP. I wasn't even focused on that at the time.
Yeah.
And then, I got over here and started getting plugged into some of the tools, the models, and the systems that our group has access to. And I was just blown away, like, wow. It really opened my eyes and caused me to reevaluate the way that I did business moving forward.
Yeah. No, you know what? You bring up some interesting topics because you and I have a lot in common, as well as a lot of our, I think, 22 coaches that we have, and that team is growing all the time. Is we like to coach, we like to train, we like to mentor new agents. And I have a lot of agents that have been in the business a long time that need some retweaking, some realigning, some readjusting, if you will. And it's what a great feeling. So let's segue right into it. You're now with EXP, loving it. Give me 3 things. Pick the 3 most important things that inspire you, that give you goosebumps, that you love about EXP.
Okay. Well, again, there's so many things. Probably the top thing that I love is our group of rock stars that we have. Mm-hmm. Like we have some of the best talent in the industry. Mm-hmm. And the fact that every one of us donate 2 hours a week in our, little private team suite to be able to coach, train, and mentor others. Like we have it. If it doesn't matter what area of real estate you want to focus on, we have a coach for it. Yeah. And, if you're at a company now where you're not getting that training and you're not feeling all warm and fuzzy and, hey, I love my broker, but, what's your broker doing to help you, to set you up for the future? Like, what's your exit strategy? Yeah. We know that day one. So It's like, okay, so I get it. You love real estate, but there's going to come a time where you're going to pull that last sign out of the yard. And then what's next? Yeah. So it's like, okay, let's start with the time that we pull the sign out of the yard and then work our way backwards. And now you have the roadmap. Now you just got to follow the plan. Yeah. And for everyone,
so you touch base on our amazing coaching, which both of us are mentors, certified mentors with EXP. Uh-huh. We coach and train and mentor new agents coming in that maybe are new in the business. And I've noticed that a lot of them, at least 95% of the mentees that come in, have no idea what systems and tools they have available to them. That's the first thing we talk about with our agents is the coaches and the mentors and the training and the coaching and all that we have is just blows my mind. So we talked about our team. What's the next thing that really just goes, wow, super stoked to be here?
The fact that, I can do my job and I'm awarded ownership in the company for doing the exact same thing in real estate that I would do at like a Keller Williams or a Remax or, mom and pop real estate. Just the advantage that I have and the opportunities that I get to be an owner and have a voice in how EXP moves forward and grows is just, it's second to none.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I've been in the business 35 years, and I used to own a Remax, a couple of them. And then I went to with Keller Williams, both great brands.
Yeah.
Was in management, and was aspiring to grow within that coaching organization through MAPS and all that. And then I decided to do my own independent. I'm going to grow my own brand. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to be my
exactly.
own owner. That's the last thing I'd ever want to do nowadays. Looking back, I wish I'd changed it a lot sooner. But
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of the people that I talk to that are currently with EXP have followed that same path. They were with Remax. Then they were with Keller Williams, and now they're all coming to EXP. It's interesting. It's a natural progression. It looks like, it seems like to me, that's what's happening. So what's the third thing that just, wow, knocks your socks off?
The fact that and this is not really a dig at EXP, but I was presented this model back in 2018. And I didn't get like all the perks and benefits and really didn't understand it. I just saw it and I was like, man, I don't play video games. And I just left it at that. And that was my initial gut reaction before I really understood what was going on. I was like, yeah, man, if I was a gamer, this would be pretty cool. I think, I could get into this, but I don't play The Sims. I'm sorry. I'm just not into that.
Yeah.
And I am now kicking myself for not looking more into this with an open mind.
Yep.
Because I would be so much further ahead of the game. And it would be like complete game over at this point.
Absolutely. You know what? It's you and I have the similar story. I was talking to Ian Flanagan over there with Pat Hayes' team, and we were just chatting back and forth. And I noticed that he reached out to me in 2017 or 18 or whatever. No, 2017. Yeah. And he goes, can you imagine if you would have jumped on when I first introduced it to you? We all heard about it, but we just didn't maybe get the right story, or we didn't understand the message. Because I, like you, I'm kind of an old school guy. I was like, oh, that's, an avatar. That's probably for the millennials. That's something they're doing. I'll just go out and with my clients and virtual and this, that, and that's not my thing. Man, it's the best thing I've ever done. Being able to take advantage of all the technology, it's changed my life. I've got total balance. My business is systematic and duplicatable. So I'm on the same. It took me 2 years and 7 minutes to join EXP. 2 years, it was introduced to me. And then 7 minutes when I sat down with the same one that sat down with you, Larry White, sat down with me, explained it, and said, this is what it is. I'm in. So it took me 2 years and 7 minutes to join EXP. So best thing I've ever done. In closing.
See, we didn't even, when I met with Larry, we didn't even get into like the stock or the, rev share or any of that stuff. It was like, hey, he knew that I wanted to be a coach, and he's like, man, come be a coach on my team. And I'm like, done. You're like, sign me up. I'm ready.
Yeah. And you take ownership of that role very seriously and do a great job.
I love doing that.
So Daniel, what I want to ask you in closing, what's our message that we want to convey to the agent audience that's watching this? What do we want to say to them?
What I want to say is, if you're considering making a move, especially like here to EXP, it's not about me. It's not about Robert. It's all about, what do you want to do with your career moving forward? What do you need? What problems, what challenges are you facing with your business right now? What's the top 3 things that are going on? I guarantee that we have a solution for that. You just got to, share with us how we can help you. And then we'll build a personalized business plan around that. And then at that point, the decision's easy once you have all the information. So that would be my biggest thing. Get all the information. Let's talk about what's going on and what challenges you're facing and how we can best solve those problems. And then at that point, let's go. Let's,
And you know what? You hit the nail on the head. Our website is buildingupagents.com. Our goal is to have the most productive group of agents in the business. So I appreciate everything you do for our team. I appreciate everything you're about. You're a wonderful person, and thank you so much for spending time with me and sharing your story. This is Robert Weichelt with another episode of Weichelt Wednesday. Have a great day. And Daniel, thank you for being on the call.
Robert, thank you, sir. Well, take care.